this beautiful sunset time-lapse from our photojournalist, Jason Heeres.
Some homes pump water out of flooded basements into drains that lead to the already flooded St. Joseph River.
You can see this home, at least the garage here, has been completely crushed by this massive tree. Let me take a look back. And just so you know, as we're walking, we're stepping over power lines. Power crews have been here to turn off the power, but for a minute there, it was a very dangerous situation.
You see what's in front of me, you'll understand why. We're at Skidmore Park right now. This area is taped off. They don't want people coming into the park.
I pray we find solutions.
These protests, we've been peaceful, and they cuss at us the same way they just did me today. They make us out to look like bad people, as if we're not coming in peace, or to misrepresent what I'm saying or what has been said.
E-cigarettes come in all shapes and sizes, mainly small and easy to hide.
First, we're taking the fastest route over to North Beach, right over the Bascule Bridge. We're going the posted speed limit, and we found that it's about a 2-mile trip from the Shays headquarters. It took us 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
Could be just hours away from having thousands of doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Followed a path of safe houses to break the binds of slavery in the South. One of those stops was 613 East Cass Street in Schoolcraft.
The Michigan state budget, $60.2 billion. But when you take out the federal funds, the school aid fund, and other restricted dollars, you're left with the general fund. And that's how much money the governor and the legislature has to work with. Here's a jar representing the general fund. The pennies are the money. 45% of the general fund goes to the Department of Health and Human Services. Money in this account goes to pay for the Healthy Michigan plan. 24% of the general fund goes to public safety. Money there is used for police and the Department of Corrections. Higher education gets 15% of the budget. Think money for the university systems across the state. And this is the first time since 2011 that the higher education money comes 100% from the general fund. Typically, some of the money came from the school aid fund, funding K through 12 education. So the rest of the general fund, 16% is left. That money goes to all other departments across the state. So the question, what about the road? Last week, Governor Gretchen Whitmer proposed the new 45-cent gas tax increase, and all of that extra money generated from when you fill up your gas tank goes into the new Fixing Michigan Roads Fund. And here's where it gets a little tricky. That new revenue from the pump would be distributed to roads that need it most. 47% goes to interstates and other freeways, 30% for major local roads, 14% for smaller roads, and so on.
Yeah, and that's because the Road Commission says they could have their crews in plows clearing the roads as early as 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, and that all depends on just how much snow falls.
Bridges, overpasses, we tell you this all the time. The reason being cold air moving above and below that bridge, creating just the perfect concoction for a lot of ice on that road.
Kickoff for this matchup is at 7 o'clock tonight, but there is much more coming from here at Colon ahead of kickoff. Coming up at 5:30, we're going to take a step off of the field and talk about a really amazing thing happening inside Colon High School.
Need 3 in each car, 3 and whatever's left over. Get in there and drive that one. Get in this one, but that's the starter down there. Ease it down and get it rolling, and then go right to the floor and hold it there. Watch out, don't run over Fred. We're going to turn left at this street. Good. Give her a little more throttle. Just keep your foot right on the floor.
This was a totally different experience.
Good job.
And they actually told us ahead of time that if you could drive a stick shift, forget about everything you know, because it's totally different than driving a stick.
We do it twice a month. You're doing good. You're fine. My name is Jim Brand, and I've been doing this this is my 6th year.
Make sure the timer is retarded with that lever all the way up. Battery here.
I got into this. A friend of mine was doing it and called me up and said, you need to go to Gilmore and volunteer. So up with the throttle, all off your foot, pull it. No, don't touch anything with your feet. You're fine. I really enjoy it. Meet a lot of neat people, and it's a fun thing to do.
The things that Jim has seen and experienced himself and those changes in technology, it's just, you can't put a price on that kind of knowledge.
This is Model T driving. They're good, good, good. We're going to make a good Model T instructor out of you yet.
No justice! No peace! It is March 13th. All over again. This country thinks that it can pay out money to a grieving family. No justice! No peace! The criminal justice system is corrupt. 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 We know it. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? Say her name! Breonna Taylor! We need to reach out to our young folks and find out how we can influence them to use their voices in a nonviolent way.
This moment right now is for the family. Listen to this moment that is happening in history.
Chief Bang, we thank you. I ask you to continue to say Breonna's name. I ask you not to be quiet. I ask you to teach, to breathe, to sleep, to eat Breonna, because we do. This is not over. We will not be silent. We will get louder. Say her name. Breonna Taylor. Say her name. Breonna Taylor. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
A few years ago, David Taylor says he felt stuck. Stuck in a cycle of bad behavior.
Do I actually want to be here?
Stuck at the Kalamazoo County Juvenile Home.
I know it might look like it's not coming out, but it will.
And then he found a vehicle.
Take those screws, the new screws.
That put him on the right path.
The bike's awesome. I still have it. It's a BMX bike. I can't fit it anymore. But it just reminds me, like, this is where I started. This was the beginning of something new, something different, a change.
David built that bicycle himself. He learned how through an organization called Open Roads and their Earn a Bike program.
And we're not about just coming in and telling them what we think they need to know. We want to make sure that whatever we're coaching them on, like, they feel like it's relevant for their lives, you know?
For 6 weeks, lessons disguised as tune-ups teach kids life and social skills.
You got it?
They're given the tools to become mechanics, able to turn metal parts and plastic pieces into a 10-speed, while at the same time greasing the wheels for future success.
I think if you sit down a group of, you know, teenage kids and say, hey, I'm going to teach you some social skills, it's not that exciting, right? You have to have something more incentivizing, and bikes are an awesome vehicle for that because it symbolizes, like, independence and self-sufficiency.
And I feel like Open Roads guided me to, like, see, like, hey, you are not this person, you are not a statistic, you are not a label, you are whoever you want to be. You define yourself. Ninja.
A teen who once defined himself as shy and angry.
Nope, you have to do the arms.
David is now a lead instructor for the program.
How are you doing today?
He says he wanted to give back by helping the kids that remind him of who he once was, and by serving as an example of what he knows they can become.
I expect the kids that I work with to be better than me. I want them to strive to aim higher than I did because I know that they are worth it. Awesome.
Hey,
awesome.
Nice job.
Awesome.
It's going to be a soggy one out there tomorrow morning.
You can see some of that heavier rain in the yellow.
We're seeing some rain right now, mainly east of US 131.
Kalamazoo just can't seem to escape the rain. So we took to the Kalamazoo Mall with our simple question.
We sick of the rain?
Heck yes, we are so sick of the rain. Will it ever stop?
We need to build an ark.
Yeah, it took me 25 minutes extra to get to work today because of the rain. So, yes, we are more than ready for it to stop.
Bring the sun back.
Are you sick of the rain? Yes, we are very sick of the rain.
It's supposed to be summer. The sun's supposed to be out.
And as a student, you know, you only get 3 months. That's very valuable 3 months, and the rain's just dampening on it.
Are you sick of the rain?
Nicole Pineda says she is, and with good reason.
Why? Because my basement's flooded, and then you're cooped up inside all day, and there's nothing, there's not a whole lot to do.
Then there's Jimmy Koval.
I'm enjoying the rain.
That's right. We asked him to elaborate.
It don't bother me, you know. I'll take it either way. I'll take it over being super high.
He was the only person on the rain side. Chip McGrath let the rain have it.
So I'm a New Englander, originally by birth. I've been here 7 years, and this has been the crappiest stretch of weather in my life. And I have been through blizzards and hurricanes and tornadoes.
What kind of dance do we need to do to please make the rain stop?
Just a little sun would be nice.
I mean, I'd like a lot of sun.
A lot, that would be good too.
I can't breathe! What did he say?
Can you wave? Wave to everyone. They all came just for your birthday. Happy birthday, Timmy.
We have an awesome community here.
Oh, look.
Very nice.
Who's that? Cousin Nick? Hey, Van Normans. It's Tyler and Sarah. Aww.
It's Jimmy's birthday, and since we couldn't have a party or anything, I just put a thing out on Facebook to all my friends and asked if anybody wanted to do a parade out here that we could.
Hey guys!
We decided to do the birthday parade here at the track.
I'm sorry we didn't get to go on the track.
And the original plan was to have everybody go on the track, but it's way too muddy.
Thank you.
I know the Jeep Club, our local Jeep Club, brought like 40.
Wow. Timmy, look. There's a race car. Isn't that cool?
Our friends brought their race car all the way from Indiana.
Hi. You guys drove all the way from Ohio?
We had a lot of friends coming from a long ways away, didn't we?
You missed me so much you can't. Hey guys, how are you?
We have been totally homebound for 2 months.
Thank you. Love you. Thank you.
It was great. Great to know that your kid is loved.
How was that? Did you have fun?
What a nice parade just for you, Timmy. That's so nice. Love you guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Kick the dust up. Let's go. All week long it's a form of town, and that money grow. Fabulous cars with flashing lights, backing up the two-lane road. They take one last lap around.
Friends on the farm and small town charm.
Incredible. Beautiful weather, beautiful venue.
People are here from near.
I live right in Plainwell, so it's so perfect.
And far
Missouri.
to see this massive country star.
We just want to see him shaking.
I came out in the rain and I'm here in the cold.
Fans say they have high expectations for their favorite songs.
Crash my party. Rain is a good thing. Knockin' boots. I was going to say knockin' boots.
As the night wears on, they say their love for Luke's music runs strong.
I want him to know that he makes amazing music and makes us feel better every day about real life and real situations, and his music helps us get through the day.
Come on. You kick the dust up.
We hear this popping noise, and all of a sudden we look across the street and it's like firecrackers going off. Then there was this huge billow of black smoke, and at that point you knew the house was definitely on fire.
Across the street from Gloria Tiller's bookshop on Parkview Avenue near Woods Lake, a home on Crest Street erupted into flames just before 10 Monday morning.
You know there's nothing left of that house.
Actually, a Kalamazoo public safety officer just doing normal patrol discovered the house in flames.
As the fire roared to life, folks living nearby couldn't help but stop and watch.
For a minute, it was just solid black smoke. And then we got over here, and it was a really big fire and a lot of fire trucks. I just hope nobody was inside.
A father and son lived in the home, but neither was there when it started. They looked on as fire crews worked for more than an hour to put the flames out.
It's pretty good when we got a lot of units out here.
There are flames, you can see it right now. They were kind of shooting through the roof. Most of this back porch was pretty much fully engulfed.
Parkview between Oakland and Adams Street was shut down until afternoon. The home is a complete loss.
Losing a house like this is just awful, just awful.
Or a building whose outside shows its age. Inside First Baptist Church, you'll find life. New passions developing. Tai Chua Dance introduces children to ballet.
He's square.
Tara Seitzma teaches improv comedy to a class of children at Crawl Space Theater Productions. This is the church's future.
I think it could become kind of an arts hub where there's theater, there's dance.
We reached a point years ago where we realized we didn't need the whole building, couldn't use the whole building, but couldn't quite figure out what to do with it.
That's Senior Pastor David Nichols.
The pastor says membership here peaked in the 1960s. And after several decades of declining membership, there's a new sense of hope because there's an effort to save this facility that is taking a major step forward.
Pastor Nichols says it's becoming impossible for his congregation to manage the building. Too much work and too expensive. Ethan Dannison is senior pastor of First Congregational Church. He's also board president of the Kalamazoo Nonprofit Advocacy Coalition, or KNAC.
We have these huge, beautiful structures, and if they're not used, then they go away.
Rather than let it go to waste, First Baptist's congregation is gifting the church to KNAC. The congregation will still have a presence here, only KNAC will take over operations and continue to rent out space to nonprofits, artists, musicians, advocacy groups.
It's one thing to just save a building. It's another thing to preserve its function in a city. And at a very basic, fundamental level, healthy churches give life to the city.
Dannison and Nichols feel that's exactly what the church can continue to do.
There you go!
In Kalamazoo, George Rodas, News Channel 3.
We've got some state champions coming back.
emotional. I got tears in my eyes. I wanted them to experience as much as this as possible since they couldn't attend.
It's a small town community.
It's a really big deal. So we're thrilled.
I could tell this community is something special, and I love it here. They just were rooting for a good football team. They wanted that next step, and you know, like I said, this is for them. I'm glad they could join us. All right, here we go. I wanted them here to raise the flag up.
This flag goes up after every win, so this flag will remain up until August and the new season starts, and they never had to not put it up. So congratulations, guys. Kristen McElroy.
We really are just a school family. Thanks, Lord. The younger kids, they look up to these boys.
My daughter's best friend, her older brother is on the team. Gunnar Bunning.
In his first varsity season, perfect 11-0 record, Jerry Schultz.
Words can't describe it, but I'm not surprised. I love it here, and I'm happy we could bring them a state championship. It's awesome.
It's really good role models for all the younger students.
To me, this is relaxing. The sound, the smell. I'm outside. I'm not cooped up inside.
Local beekeeper Kyle LaRue first earned his stripes about 4 years ago.
I bought my first hive, and it was only supposed to start with one. I only wanted one, just to tinker with. Well, one turned into 2, turned into 10, turned into 20. Now we're 30 plus.
That's about 900,000 busy honeybees until the sting of fall and winter sets in.
My bees are slowing down right now. If you move them to warmer climates, they'll ramp back up.
But LaRue keeps his hives in Battle Creek all year long. Not only are bees excellent pollinators, they're also excellent survivors.
They actually will cluster into a ball, roughly the size between a volleyball and a basketball, inside the hive, and they will keep each other warm all winter by vibrating, and then they flex their wing muscles back and forth, and it creates heat.
This is what that bee ball looks like with a thermal imaging camera. The bright colors show the 90-degree heat inside the hive, despite the 19-degree chill on the outside. And when the bees get hungry, yeah, they dig into a 100-pound honey reserve made from all that Michigan goldenrod. But perhaps the most unbelievable strength honeybees show during the cooler months is rated PG-13.
They don't go to the bathroom in the hive. They'll hold it till a warm day, even if it's 3 months.
Tell your kids that next time they ask, are we there yet?
I literally can't believe that I'm standing this close to this many bees.
Meteorologist Christina Anthony, News Channel 3.
We're learning this all began as a high-speed pursuit. Michigan State Police saying that pickup took off from one of its troopers last night. We learned from police it happened along Pine Lake Road, speeds reaching 100 miles an hour. Police say that pickup driver made his way south before taking a hard left here at Oak Drive. The thing about Oak Drive is that it goes east for a little bit, but then takes another hard left turn at Upper Crooked Lake. Police say that driver likely lost control right there, and in the pitch black and unfamiliar with the road, overcorrected a bit and eventually launching himself from that ledge onto the roof of that house. Police say somehow the driver was able to walk away from the crash uninjured. He caused a lot of damage to the unoccupied home. There's damage to the meters. The truck hit some power lines, temporarily knocking out the power to some homes here along the lake.
Contacted a couple people, some good friends of ours, and they set it all up. Here they come. Oh. We thought maybe 5 or 6.
Didn't really know what to expect. It was just the tribute for our father in the police department. He was a police officer for 25 years. It was emotional seeing it. It was.
Didn't realize there'd be that many. You'd be so impressed. All these friends that have come out. I mean, they've come out of the woodwork.
People who we coached in Little League and the Scouts and everything, and all remembering.
Gave tickets to and bailed out of jail and all kinds of stuff. Just to have all your friends and family around, you know, you can't get too close to them, but everybody was so willing to do whatever we asked. He had a lot of friends. He touched everybody.
these in place so they'll be full length. My name is Dan Dunov, and I just do interesting jobs for what I hope are good people.
We always put it out for the holidays.
2 letters per 4-foot high.
Of course, the last couple of weeks have been hard on everyone.
It was obviously a good idea.
And we put on Facebook whether folks thought we should leave it up or not. And everyone was like, leave it up. It's nice to have it lit at night and people can see it all throughout the neighborhood.
Just give them some hope.
So we just have to stay positive and hopeful.
Which we need more of at this point.
Imagine this. The mill at Vicksburg is full of people when an employee finds this bucket. This is the bomb squad's secret weapon.
She sees what it is now.
KDPS uses the robot's 6 cameras to scope out potentially dangerous situations.
So go straight ahead to that wall. That's our corridor. Hopefully we'll maintain our signal.
The explosive device was blocked by concrete walls, causing issues with the signal to the robot.
If our robot fails, typically one of us will have to go in.
KDPS Bomb Squad Technician Deputy Sarah Choi says this training was challenging.
We learned what our limitations are and maybe best way to position our truck or our antennas.
The FBI requires bomb squads to train 16 hours a month.
It's all perishable skills, so if, it's instances like these where you don't train with it, then you can't lose those skills.
Explosives and IEDs, and it's important for us to keep up on training and to figure out what the trends are and to be able to best approach those.
KDPS says for this training, mission accomplished.
We decided that we were going to remove the device from the building to a safe location where we would get rid of the device.
Stryker donated the robot to public safety, which Choi says cost over $100,000. After upgrades, it's now worth nearly $500,000.
To go into schools, to go into businesses, and save my or my partner's lives it's invaluable.
The department says it's thankful for all of their tools.
Whenever you can stay, remote and not put somebody in harm's way.
This is one of Rob Richardson's soybean fields here in Vicksburg, and you can see, while it got some hail damage, for the most part, it looks like a soybean farm. You can still see the leaves. The plants themselves are relatively healthy, only some parts are cut off. Driving across the street, and you can see the progression, or really the regression, as far as the health of all of these plants. And across the street specifically, you see the part of the field that was hit hardest by the hail. This doesn't resemble any growing soybeans. It looks like nothing.
I've lived here 60 years and I've never seen this. There's a leaf over here.
And it's a St. Charles Van Ostrand says he hopes to never see again. He lives nearby, loves to see healthy crops on his drives. What he sees today hurts him.
This was incredible. I'm glad I wasn't driving over here.
This video is from during Wednesday's storm. Looks more like mid-January than mid-August. Just a short drive down East W Avenue, you'll see some of the hail still piled up today, drawing several onlookers. Van Ostrand says he just wants to see Mother Nature ease up a bit.
We've had enough this year, yeah.
Richardson said thankfully he had hail insurance, so a lot of the losses are going to be covered. But this is just another step in what he says has been an absolutely devastating season. In Vicksburg, George Rodas, News Channel 3.
We are putting together meals for students, breakfast and lunch, for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Hi, how many children?
Right there.
On your left? There we go.
They're picking up as they drive through the loading dock area. And on Thursdays, we'll have meals for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that kids are able to get at least 2 square meals a day.
Yes, keep following the road. On a normal day, I am the head cook at Page Elementary School, which houses 4th and 5th graders. And as a team, we work great together, and we just all pulled together and came together and just made 3,000 meals.
Anywhere from our school resource officers, 2 of them, to people from our operations department, to food service employees. They're all here helping, trying to get food to the cars. So, like I said, kids have 2 square meals a day over the course of this shutdown.
Just a situation that is happening around all of us right now at this time. It's outside of a normal school day. cafeteria situation. We're just seeing real life folks out here that are in need and frightened, and it's a way to connect with them and just to try and reassure one another.
Everything is kind of up in the air. So we just kind of started pondering different ways that we could try to make ends meet during the off season. We thought, what better way than just fire up the donut machines. We've made donuts before, but typically we put them in bags and not in clamshells, and are they going to fit, and adjusting the donut size.
Hello there, how are you?
Allow people to kind of drive through and pick them up, and no contact.
Just the 1 dozen?
Pre-ordering started about a week ago. We ran pre-orders for about a week. We sold out on Wednesday.
Is weird. Normally you have to wait till fall. This is surely a pleasure.
Looks a little different right now, doesn't it? Thank you guys. Enjoy.
So we thought just bike here instead of drive, and then sit here and enjoy it so we don't have to carry so much home.
We've been known for the last couple of years to be the place where families can come and make memories and traditions together. It's been fun seeing them out here and just being able to kind of see some smiling faces as they roll through.
It was a good night here for Centerville. They won 43-0, winning big tonight. Coach Quake would have liked it because they shut out the other team. He was a defensive coach. He loved when the team played hard. He was hard on his players, tough as nails, but we spoke to one former player today who told us he also had a heart of gold. This hasn't always been the scene at Bulldogs games.
For a Bulldog touchdown.
The team's scoring plenty this season. Centerville going into tonight undefeated. Juice. Before the game,
play hard.
Assistant coach Aaron Hartong making sure his players were ready, much like his old coach did.
Just a heart of gold, even though he was so hard on the outside to most people who were looking from the outside in. But for every player, they never doubted that Quake loved them.
Steve Quake died Wednesday after a 7-year battle with neck cancer. A pregame moment of silence for the longtime Centerville JV and varsity football coach who fought cancer hard to the bitter end. A toughness Aaron says Quake handed down to all of his players.
He taught me not to let my size bother me, that it's what's in the heart and what's in the mental toughness that matters, and so without him I wouldn't have had a lot of the opportunities I had in life.
Hartog says Quake was instrumental in keeping football alive in Centerville, starting a youth football program decades ago so young kids could learn to love the sport. He helped coach Centerville to its first ever playoffs in 2001.
Right here.
Hartong was on that team. And says Quake's tough love style kept you in line and gave you confidence. And along with his passion, that tough love is how he coaches today.
Yeah, you screwed up, you did it wrong, but I still love you. I'm still here. Nothing's changed about that, right? I mean, you could do it wrong 1,000 times, and I'm going to crack on you 1,000 times, but I still love you to death, and I'm still going to be here to support you, and that's pure Quake right there.
Aaron says besides that 2001 team, Coach Quake really didn't win too much during his tenure here at Centerville, but what he did do was turn a lot of young boys into football players and into great men. In Centerville, George Rudis, News Channel 3.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Reindeer. And of course, the big fella himself, Santa, have officially arrived in Calhoun County.
We've missed out on so much. It's just so exciting to get the kids out here and let them have some fun.
Merry Christmas!
Matt Davis is the Marshall Christmas Committee chair. He says instead of canceling the parade, they chose to get creative to keep the Christmas spirit alive. Davis calls the drive-through parade the holiday swerve because they swerved through several plans to get this just right. Davis says this took strategic planning because of so many COVID restrictions.
Ooh, look at all the green.
This year floats are stationary as families drive through the Merry Mile at the Calhoun County Fairgrounds. Davis says families can still get a taste of Christmas from the comfort of their car.
Merry Christmas!
Like so many holiday traditions, this is the first time Marshall ever had to do anything like this. They've had up to 10,000 people in past parades, but that just wasn't possible this year. Davis says with so many other losses this year, there was no way they were going to let all of those people down. Davis says they have received backlash for changing things up, but he says if breaking tradition keeps people safe and the tradition alive, then it's a no-brainer.
I think we have to be cognizant of everybody's safety, and no matter where you're at in that spectrum of how seriously you take COVID, the last thing we want to do is to get anybody unnecessarily exposed to COVID and potentially harmed.
People I spoke with say keeping the parade alive while keeping people safe in their car is the best way to drive into the holiday season. Reporting from Marshall, Tavarius Haywood, News Channel 3.
Today is the 9th anniversary of the line of duty death of Public Safety Officer Eric Zapata.
Thank you for a beautiful day that we could remember Eric.
We just did a short Facebook live stream of a memorial so that we could gather and remember of the sacrifice that he gave to this community.
We remember his sacrifice and his faithfulness to the job.
We just wanted to take time. This is a place where a lot of us come and remember Eric at the statue here on the mall. And it also gives a chance for people to get online and send wishes to the family and friends and remember Eric. Things that unite us are greater than the things that divide us, and that together we will make it through, and we will thrive, and we will remember. Eric, rest in peace. You are not forgotten.
show starts.
Here we go.
Enjoy.